Colorado High School Activities Association football is on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. From All City Field, it is the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs against the Lincoln Lancers, along with Kevin Rohde and Brian Nickel. I'm John Beltran. Big game for the Mustangs coming up today, considering they're 0-5 and Lincoln is 1-4 as we're live at All City Stadium. The Mustangs have not played in 15 days when they lost to Frederick 30-19, while Lincoln has the one victory over Alameda by 8 points, but in the 4 losses, they've been outscored 193-6. And Brian, this is not a game that Fort Morgan should just win. They should win going away, considering that, I mean, you look at the 5 games, something we discussed with Coach Davies, they really haven't been blown out. There's been times in all these games they've been extremely competitive.
Yeah, that's for sure. As far as, the offense has been coming along, they've showed that they're improving. Their defense needs to improve some, but they should have a walk game with this one today. As long as they keep improving and getting better, that's what they're looking for. Should come away with a victory today for their first win.
Kevin, when you're looking at a Lincoln team that Fort Morgan beat last year 49-6, you can draw upon that result because it was their second win of the year, and J.J. Marquez was a freshman. Ben Fritzler was a freshman. He had 16 carries for 104 yards in that game. So just that familiarity, that's where, even though you're still a young football team, experience has got to play a factor here just based on last year's game alone.
Yeah, at this point they've played 3 times as many varsity games as they had at that point of the season last year. So every time you get out there on the field, you have an opportunity to grow and to learn, and I think that's one thing that we've seen from these Mustangs all year long, that they continue to grow and continue to play better. And I look forward to seeing them have some success out there at the end as well as during the game.
Well, and again, with the 4 losses by Lincoln, all coming by mercy rule, there's no reason. Fort Morgan is too good of a football team. But here's the one thing, and I don't know if both of you will agree with me. Fort Morgan needs a killer instinct, because they've had the lead in 3 games this year at some point. 14-0 against Pueblo County, outplayed the rest of the game. 7-0 against Conifer, outplayed the rest of the game. Up 19-12 in the game you did 2 weeks ago against Frederick. And they had a big fumble, and then there were penalties all over the place. When they've had the lead, they haven't closed these games out strong. And then last year, if you remember last year's game, they were up 28-0 after the first quarter. It was 28-0 at halftime. It was 35-6 after 3. They didn't get it to a running clock till about 4 or 5 minutes to go. And that's what we saw from the state championship team 2 years ago. They, especially against some of these opponents, they had a killer instinct. And that's certainly what this team is going to need. If they don't have the killer instinct, they're going to let Lincoln hang around. But anyway, we will get to the opening kickoff of this afternoon's game from All City Stadium, Fort Morgan and Lincoln, right after this on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. At All City Stadium, I'm John Beltran with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. Anyway, I want to pick up what I was just saying here, because the only 2 times that Fort Morgan has shown that killer instinct, and maybe that's not the right 2-word phrase, is when they've been down. When they were down to Roosevelt 21-0, they played a good second half. They were down 10-0 and 17-9 to Brush, and they forced overtime. And I think we've seen it. Both of you have seen it. They just got to play well for an entire 48 minutes.
Yeah, they've got to, like you said, they got to play the whole game, and they just haven't. I don't know why. I don't know if that comes from leadership, maybe not leadership there that they don't have this year, maybe, but they've shown signs of being a good team, and at times they've shown being a bad team. It just has cost them some games this year.
Well, hopefully that will turn around for this particular game, and I think it will turn around in convincing fashion, as the Mustangs are coached by Ty Davies, the assistants Jacob Lund, Drew Davies, Gary Davies, Jim Kreckemeyer, Josh Langford, Isaac Linker, Tyrone Ortiz, Eric Sherman, Jacob Norris, and Jackson Langford. Carl Aragon, the head coach of Lincoln. Don Zaman Beeler, Kenny Crowthers, Nicholas Dupuque, and Victor Crowthers are the assistants. I wonder where my sheet went. All right. The opening kickoff is brought to you by Buildings by Design. First impressions are important. Buildings by Design will make your vision a reality, visit buildingsbydesign.com. Oh, that is mine. Okay. Kevin's got his to his left. I think I've done this before, but who knows? All right, to kick it off is Miguel Davila, the left-footed kicker for Fort Morgan, in their road whites. And that's a line drive. It'll be fielded at the 9 and bobbled at the 10, straight ahead to the 15, running right to the 20, across the 25 to the 30. The return there by Jesse Genia Jr., a return of about 25 yards. And this Lincoln offense, we know, has really struggled. They've been shut out in 3 of their 4 losses and scored 6 points in the other game. And they've gone with a 2-quarterback system, so let's see who's going to step out there. It looks like it'll be Ash Myers, a junior, at 6 foot 180. This is Morgan County's B106, KPRB Brush Fort Morgan, with a line of scrimmage at their own 32-yard line. King Stansel is their lead running back. Trips to the left, 4 yards behind center. Running back Stansel to the left of the quarterback Myers, with a receiver out to the right. From the 32 on a gorgeous Saturday, high snap. Rolling left is Myers. Pressure coming backside. He's taken down by Fritzler. A sack at the 24-yard line. Looked like he wanted to throw. There is a flag down at the line of scrimmage, or near the line of scrimmage, but nobody blocked Fritzler, and hopefully that's not a hold against Lincoln, because that would make that sack look even worse, considering that you don't want to hold on the same play that you give up a sack, but that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, no one was holding Fritzler on that play, though. He came in untouched and just got right to the quarterback. Nice play.
Yeah, holding on the interior, apparently. So they're declining the penalty.
Yeah, but why aren't they putting it back at the 24? The line of scrimmage, what are they doing? Is there no play there?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
Hold on.
Yeah,
What's going on there?
yeah, the ref on the
do
other
they
side
not-
is getting it
do
straightened
they
out.
know how to officiate?
Back to the 25.
you can't keep it at second down. And there was a sack back to the 24. Oh, I start worrying about the officials now. I mean, how many are out there to miss that spot? Anyway, and I'm not one to criticize them.
As short on officials as they are, these guys probably work Thursday night, Friday night, and this is like their 3rd game of the weekend.
Second down and 17 for the 25. The give off to the left side and a gain of maybe a yard. The Mustangs stack up the ball carrier. And let's see who that is. That is Elicio Beltran. No relation. From one Beltran to the other, a gain of 2. It'll be 3rd down and 15 to go. Passing situation for Lincoln. A minute expired. Lincoln at 1-4. The Mustangs at 0-5. 2 receivers split to the left, 2 to the right. The quarterback, Ash Myers, out of the gun. 1-step drop, pressure coming, steps up in the pocket, takes off with the football. He's down at the 25-yard line. That'll be another sack. And he was taken down by 2 Mustangs, including Noah Aguirre, as well as Carson Roth. 4th down and 17. You guys got an over-under on sacks? Because we're looking at about 10 right now.
Yeah, I'd go over 10.
Okay, over 10 for Kevin.
Yes, over 10.
Okay, for Brian too. Preston Herbert to punt. Standing at his own 12-yard line, the Mustangs should have Langford and Lopez, normally the return men. They're in plus territory. There's the snap, a high fluttering kick. It'll bounce at the 46. It takes a side roll towards the Mustang sideline, and Lopez is going to let it roll to the 43-yard line. That's a punt of about 32 yards, and the Mustangs will have it right there. And gentlemen, get ready. I mean, this should be easy pickings for Fort Morgan as long as they control the football. The turnovers have really hurt them at times, and you guys documented that very nicely a couple of weeks ago. 1st and 10 at the 43. The setback is Samson Ortega. Lopez and Langford, the receivers, to the left. Here's my call, no pun intended. Dawson Call is going to have a 65-plus catch and run for a touchdown. From the 43-yard line, from the pistol, there's the handoff. Ortega to his right, across the 45 as he dances to the 50-yard line, a gain of about 7. Not that big of a hole for Ortega, but he quickly was able to generate 7 yards out of the play. 2nd down and 3, right up to the line of scrimmage. At midfield, pistol formation once again. There's the snap and the handoff. Ortega running right, swinging it to the outside, and he's got a 1st down along the sideline to about the 45-yard line before the tackle was made. And let's see where the football is being spotted. Looks like it will be straight up at the 45-yard line. The Mustangs in a no huddle.
Yeah, this is the first time I've seen this happen. Although now they slowed it down, getting their signs in.
At the 45-yard line of Lincoln, just underway. Lincoln went 3 and out as the Mustangs picked up 2 sacks. Same formation. Ramirez on the inside slot to the left. Wiedrich resets from the 45. There's the toss left. Jitterbugging to his left, swinging it to the outside. Ortega stops, continues to run, and is down across the 40 towards the 39, maybe the 38-yard line, before he was tackled over there by King Stansel and Orlando Reyes. But once again, a gain of 7. It took a while to develop, but they still picked up positive yardage.
Yeah, nice kick out there by Wiedrich on the end. Just spring him open there a little bit.
At the 38-yard line of Lincoln, 2nd down and 3 to go, 8:58 to go in the opening quarter. And again, the Mustangs looking over for play instructions with about 3 different coaches with those signals. At the 38, man in motion is Lopez. Handoff, Ortega. He spins and he gets a 1st down to the 34. Gain of 4 right up the middle. Ortega now has 4 carries for 23 yards, Kevin.
Yeah, if Fort Morgan stays with the run, Ortega's going to have a career day today.
At the 34-yard line, there's the snap, play action, looking to throw his Marquez out to his right, complete. That is a 1st down. That is Wiedrich inside the 20 to about the 18-yard line, a gain of 19 on a perfect pass from Marquez to Wiedrich.
Yeah, and he had Langford down the middle, wide open. He was 10 yards behind the nearest defender, but he just didn't see him. Went to the underneath.
In the red zone.
Had Lincoln suck it up on that run, and they ran right by him.
Right.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line of Lincoln. The drive started at the 43-yard line. Marquez with a running back, Ben Fritzler to his left. Man in motion to the left is Lopez on the jet sweep. Bounces it to the outside, a seam to the 15, now to the 10, at the 5. Lopez is down inside the 5 at about the 3-yard line, maybe the 2, but I think they got the 3. It's a gain of 15 and a Mustang 1st down.
We got some laundry out here on the yellow flag at the 20, probably going to be a hold.
Yeah, on the opposite side of the field, which is, that is odd that would be called, but it's against Fort Morgan and a hold.
And I was thinking, it looks like the only thing that's going to stop Fort Morgan today is going to be themselves.
Well, that was the thought going into the game, quite frankly.
Yeah, because Lincoln's defense is as porous as you predicted.
Football's at the 28-yard line of Lincoln, 1st and 20. 7:44, quick moving first quarter because everything's been kept in the middle of the field. Fritzler is the setback. Lopez and Langford to the left. You can still run the ball. It's 1st and 20, and their worst run has been 4 yards. But what's taking up all the time is looking over towards the sideline.
Yep.
And getting the signals in, which, as you mentioned, Brian, that's a stark contrast to what they did the first couple of plays.
Yeah,
They're already counting down the time. They better hurry.
Play clock is at 3, at 2. Marquez has to get it off. He does. Play action. Back to throw. Sets. Throws over the middle. The pass is caught to Langford. Inside the 5 to the 2 to the 1. Touchdown, Charlie Langford. That is a 28-yarder from Marquez to Langford. And the Mustangs are on the board. A beautifully run pass, or a pattern and a pass, and the Mustangs lead 6-0.
Yeah, that was a great effort by Langford to get the last 5 or so yards, dodging between defenders.
Now the extra point to be attempted by Miguel Davila. What a throw. Threaded the needle beautifully. And the line drive extra point is off to the right, and they've got to clean that up. That just cannot be the case, especially on a clean turf field on a Saturday afternoon. You cannot miss 19-yard extra points because they missed one against Frederick as well. 7:05 to go in the opening quarter. It's Fort Morgan 6, Lincoln nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs went 57 yards on that drive and a 31-yard touchdown pass. How many plays did it take, Brian? 6 plays to get down the field. They did it. It needed about 3 minutes. There's a beautiful kick by Davila, backing up and fielding the ball at the 4. Let's see if that Stancil to the 15-yard line across the 20 and then stood up. The Mustangs there on special teams to make some big hits, including Austin Hall. And there were a couple of other Mustangs around the football. Somebody's wearing a number 40 we don't have on the original roster. Nonetheless, 1st and 10 at the 21-yard line for Lincoln.
Jeremiah Mills.
There you go. It's an excellent play by Hall and Mills. The Mustangs had 2 sacks on the opening drive. From the gun, running backs to the left and right of the quarterback. That might not be Ash Myers. There's the give and a short gain. Maybe a gain of about a yard. Yeah, that's Myers still in there. Is that 24 Eric Silva, perhaps?
It's hard to tell. 24, yeah.
A gain of 1 for the Mustangs. Make the hit, 2nd down. And 9 yards to go for the 22-yard line. 6.5 to go in the opening quarter. Fort Morgan got on the board in their first drive on that 31-yard scoring pass from Marquez to Langford. Receiver split to the left and right. Silva remains in the backfield. The quarterback is Myers. From the gun, he'll hand it off again and trying to break a tackle, but not a second as Silva. Excellent penetration by Christian Velasquez, but then it was cleaned up by several other Mustangs, including Oscar Ramirez. A gain of 1. 3rd down and 8 to go, and now we have the first timeout called by Lincoln.
I don't think they gave him any forward progress on that. It's still at the 22.
Yep, you're right. No gain. No gain. 3rd down and 9 to go for Lincoln. It almost feels library-esque on this side.
Yeah, maybe that's because there's only about 10 people over here.
Right,
Yes.
Fort Morgan definitely has a better following than the local crowd.
Yeah, I mean, they traveled well. Lincoln certainly didn't travel as well, even though they don't have as far to go. But the Mustangs certainly traveled the 80-some-odd miles to get to All-City Stadium, where Fort Morgan will be next Saturday at 2 o'clock against Kennedy. Brian and Kevin will have the call of that game. Right now, Fort Morgan has not allowed a first down on the first drive, and now looking to do the same thing on the second drive, and a 3rd down and 9 for Lincoln at their own 22-yard line. 2 receivers split to the left and to the right. Man in motion to the left. Myers is going to roll that way, and he's going to be taken down. And then the ball is loose. It's still loose, and it's recovered, I believe, by Carson Roth.
I believe so. Yeah.
I think Roth has it at the 13-yard line. He jumped on the ball. Did he come away with it? And
They calling him down before he fumbled? Or?
well, he might have been down.
I don't know. The
But-
offense is coming off.
Was that Weidrich in there with a sack? But it was quick. Myers got taken down. It is the 3rd sack
it is
either
for
way.
Morgan.
And Carson Roth, it looked like to Brian and myself, recovered that fumble. And the Mustangs will have the ball in the red zone, already up 6-0 at the 13-yard line.
Yeah, I hadn't seen a definite call until right there after Lincoln had already gone off the field.
I think his mic is turned around. There you go.
Is that better?
Yeah, well, 1st and 10 at the 13 for the Mustangs. 5:47 to go before halftime, or before the end of the first quarter. Not that quick, John. Marquez again. 5 yards behind center. Now we've got a stoppage
Delay game? Yep. Illegal substitution, I believe.
against Lincoln. So now the ball is going to be placed at the 8-yard line, a 1st down and 5. Well, that's 12 on the field. That's why. That's the 12th man. There's 11 on the field right now. So Fort Morgan should have it at the 8-yard line. The officials now discussing things, but Yeah, you've got to walk that off. There were 12 players in the field for Lincoln. And first down and 5 at the 8-yard line. Ortega's in the backfield. To the left of the quarterback, J.J. Marquez. In motion to the right is Angel Lopez. Back to his left. He resets. Awaiting the snap is Marquez. And there's the handoff running left. That's Dawson Call towards the end zone, and he's in, but a flag is down, and the Mustangs have held again. That's going to nullify an 8-yard touchdown. Well, if you're holding in a game like this, which they have twice already, imagine what happens when you play a better opponent.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
Yeah, they gotta knock that stuff off.
I mean, we've had some negatives in this game. The missed extra point and 2 holds, one which nullifies a touchdown, the other nullified a 15-yard gain. And it seemed pretty obvious to the official. The ball's now back at the 19-yard line, so that accounts for about an 11-yard penalty, because that's, I think they try to walk it off 10 yards, but that's at the 18.5. We'll call it the 19-yard line.
You come into a game like this and you're playing against a team that you feel like you should win. You know, there's several types of victories. There's the ones where you just play well and you win well. I'll continue in a minute.
Back to throw, Marquez out to his right, wide open underneath, caught by Langford at the 11, to the 5. He bobbles the ball, and then he spins and scores. Charlie Langford, that's an 18-yarder for the Mustangs, his second touchdown of the game. Langford back in the end zone. Fort Morgan's got 2 touchdowns in the first 6+ minutes of the game. It's 12-0.
Continuing my thought, you know, you don't want to come in and win but have a ton of mistakes.
That's it. That's it.
You want to play a clean game. You need to tell the kids, we don't need to hold. We don't need to, just go out and do your thing and we'll win. So hopefully they get that corrected here in the next 3.5 quarters.
Yeah, they don't give a number who's holding, so I don't know if it's somebody out on the end apparently.
Going for 2 from the pistol. Marquez hands it off to Ortega, running to his right. And did he get in? There's a late flag. There's a late flag. He did get in. That could signal a possible face mask, because they don't throw holding penalties near the end of a pile, or at least flags for holding. Wiedrich is pointing in Lincoln's direction. It looks like it's a face mask, which could be tacked on for the kickoff. Fort Morgan right now still says 12-0 on the board. And if it is a face mask and the 2-point conversion is good, it would be 14-0. And well, it's going to be targeting. It's a targeting penalty. Decline. 2-point conversion is good. 5 minutes, 13 seconds to go. First quarter from All City Stadium in Denver. It is Fort Morgan 14, Lincoln 0 on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs take advantage of a Lincoln turnover, a fumble recovery by Carson Roth. They get into the end zone. An 18-yard pass to Charlie Langford, second one, the first one from 28, a line drive kick. And that bounces at the 3 into the end zone as King Stansel lets it go. And the third Lincoln possession will start at their own 20-yard line. Kevin, you had a thought, and hopefully
it was
I
fleeting.
didn't lose the train of thought, because that was a few minutes ago.
Yeah, I kind of completed it. Like I said, there's several ways to win this game. To not play well and barely squeak out and know that you should have won. To win big but make a bunch of mistakes doing it, or to win big and play a nice clean game. And that's really the goal, is to come in and not make mistakes. Now that second holding call, at least it was on the side of the point of attack.
Right.
So I can kind of make sense out of that. But the first holding call that called back that touchdown or on the long play, was on the other side, completely away from the play.
Yeah, that cannot happen. First down and 10 for Lincoln at their own 20. 14-0 Mustangs. Under center this time is the quarterback Myers. The handoff up the middle and nothing. Let's see if that's Stansel with a carry. And it was. No gain. Second down and 10 yards to go. First carry of the game for Stansel, because Eric Silva had a couple of carries earlier. Got maybe half a yard. The board's got second down and 9. We could give him a courtesy yard there, and that's about it. I mean, it looks like on some of these plays, Brian, Lincoln's not even blocking some of these Mustangs.
Yeah, they're having a tough time out there, that's for sure. Then when the quarterback does go back, he looks pretty.
And there's the give, and breaking out of a tackle, Stansel. He's got daylight across the 25 and close to a first down. The Mustangs had him back in the backfield. That's going to be a first down at the 30, a gain of 9 for King Stansel. Very nifty move by the Lincoln sophomore running back.
Well, that's been a problem with Fort Morgan this year, is their tackling has not been real good at times.
Right, they just don't wrap up and gang tackle. And once he broke that one tackle, where was the contain and everybody else that was supposed to be there?
Right, you cannot give up on the play. First and 10 at the 30-yard line from the gun. Myers will hand it off to Stansel. He's got big running room to his right across the 35. First down to the 40. And along the sideline, he's out of bounds at the 43-yard line. Fritzler ushered him out of bounds, but a gain of 13. All of a sudden, the Mustang run defense, Kevin, getting a little bit soft.
Well, you do kind of become complacent when you go out there the first two drives and really don't have any resistance and are able to sack the quarterback and stop every run. They need to wake back up and realize that these kids on the Lincoln side want to play ball and have some pride too.
3:47 to go, first quarter. The Mustangs have touchdown passes of 28 and 18 yards from Marquez to Charlie Langford. Both went to Charlie. An equipment timeout on the Lincoln side. It's a helmet situation that they've got apparently resolved. First and 10 from the 43-yard line. Receivers split out to each side, but Lincoln has not been able to attempt a pass. This will be a give right up the gut and a gain of about a yard to the 44-yard line. The Mustangs there to stack up the play in the ball carrier. And that was Eliseo Beltran for the gain of 1. Second down and 9 to go.
One thing that I noticed through the first 4 games, Fort Morgan seemed to always be a little bit shorter man for man against other teams that they play. And today, it definitely in the interior line, Lincoln's got a much smaller stature. They've got some guys in there that are 5'7" as linemen. 2
receivers to the left and right, and there we have flags fly. False start against Lincoln. So we'll go backwards. This is the second game of the day on this field. Meade and George Washington
21-7 Meade.
Played earlier, and we expected that. Meade only had 1 win on the season, but again, you play these, some of these Denver schools are still, they're works in progress of their football program. Second down and 14 at the 39-yard line. Running back to the left of the quarterback, Myers. Back to throw. Goes a screen. It's incomplete. Silva didn't turn around at the 39-yard line. He was the intended receiver. First pass attempt from Ash Myers. It's third down and 14 to go for Lincoln.
I don't know. I didn't know if he thought it was going to somebody else or didn't know what the play was for sure. But
it was actually set up fairly well. But again, you've got to, and you need separation between the running back and the defenders, which they had a little bit of. On third down and 14, Lincoln at their own 39. They've got 2 first downs on a drive. Again to throw, stepping up, and there's going to be a sack. Another sack by the Mustangs. Take it down at the 32-yard line. 4 sack for a loss of 7. And the initial hit was made by Noah Aguirre. Ben Fritzler also in on the hit, along with Dominic Vasquez. And on fourth down and 21, Lincoln to punt.
Yeah, Lincoln's going to, if they're going to have any success in the pass game, it's going to have to be short, quick routes. They don't have any time to go deep or even medium length.
Mustangs could use a nice return. That snap bounces in. The ball is loose. It's still loose and tries to get it off. There's a short punt. Mustangs shouldn't touch that at this point. That ends up being an amazing punt near midfield for about 18 yards. I don't know how.
Yeah, you are correct there. That is an amazing play by him. He bobbled the ball about 3 or 4 times, and then as he's getting hit, was able to get a foot on it
Yeah, that was Preston Herbert. I don't know how he got that punt off. That's crazy. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at midfield. Still a minute 40 to go. They scored 28 points in this matchup a year ago in the first quarter, and then neither team scored in the second quarter. Fort Morgan has 2 passing touchdowns, even though they've run the ball well. At midfield, Marquez is going to hand it off. Here is Samson Ortega jitterbugging, and a flag is down, and so is he at the 40-yard line, and that was a clear hold. Looked like Duckworth was grabbing some jersey there. That's the 3rd holding penalty against Fort Morgan. I mean, the one thing this is doing is allowing the Mustangs to test their own passing game because they're facing 1st and 2nd and long, but you don't want that to happen because you're being inept. It's because the other team's forcing you into that situation.
Right. And then again, that one was kind of away from the point of attack, so somewhat unnecessary. Not that any holding penalty should be necessary.
Exactly.
You got to have the proper blocking technique.
But if you're like, I'll continue later.
1st down and 20. Marquez to throw. It's caught underneath by Ortiz, and he cannot get out of a tackle. He's held up after a short gain of about 4 to the 44-yard line.
So saying, if you're a wide receiver and they run a sweep to your side and you don't know which way the back's going to cut, as that cut's made, sometimes it's natural to get caught up with your hand in there. But on the interior line, you should just be taking your guy straight downfield.
This time the receivers line up to the left. Langford and Ortiz. Ortega in the backfield. We're down to 55 seconds to go in the opening quarter. The Mustangs lead 14-0 with a 2nd down and 16. Marquez awaits a snap. Back to throw. Setting up a screen to the left. It's batted down at the line of scrimmage by Herbert. And to be honest with you, I think that was completely telegraphed. I think you've got to look off that first receiver a little bit more. And that's why they read it. And it was knocked down very easily. 39 seconds to go. And I get the design of the play, but you have to sell that a little bit harder. And just not on the quarterback, but it really does start with the quarterback in that situation because he wants to throw that defense off. But the look was so quick that it didn't allow any adjustment. 3rd down and 16. Marquez, play action, back to throw, deep in the pocket, deep over the middle. Langford's wide open, and it's off his hands, incomplete.
Oh, and he kind of cut his pattern a little bit short and then misjudged the ball. And I think Marquez had a good ball on that. I think Charlie wished he'd have another try at that. At
the 15-yard line, Kevin, you are 100% right. That is all on Charlie. He stopped a little bit. I don't know why he did. If he keeps going, that's an easy 56-yard touchdown. And for some reason, he kind of, I don't know, it's like he slowed down, unable to judge the distance of that pass. A perfect throw by Marquez, and what a punt. Inside the 10-yard line, down to the 5, and it goes out of bounds at about the 3. Holy mahungas, that's a tremendous punt by Frank Urias. That just traveled 52 yards to the 4-yard line. You know what? This presents an opportunity for the defense.
That's right. See if we can get a safety here.
Oh, I'm thinking bigger, Brian.
Looking for
defensive touchdown.
Well, yeah. I
was thinking small there.
Well, because Brian is not me. Brian is a generous man. I'm greedy. I'm very greedy. I shouldn't be like that.
Well, if Lincoln comes out and passes or tries to pass in this situation, it's going to be a safety, unless it's a quick hitter.
Right.
And so far, we haven't seen any quick hitters.
You're right. 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. That's one of the plays of the game by Frank Urias, a 52-yard punt.
Now they have a different quarterback in this time.
And now the second timeout called by Lincoln.
Well, you come off of a punt, and you got to call a timeout. Not what you're looking for.
Well, then that should be. Myers is a junior. The sophomore is Juarez. Ezekiel Juarez is the other quarterback they normally use.
They also have Eric Garcia, number 9 or 8, listed as quarterback, but I don't know who they have in there at this point.
Yeah, let's
8's
see.
on the sideline, so it's not him.
Yeah, let's see if that's Juarez in there. With over 30 years of experience, B&B Appliance can help match the appliances to your needs at 502 Ensign Street in Fort Morgan, and covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better Electric, better does matter. 970-521-1030.
And it is 15 that's in there.
That is Juarez, 1st and 10 at their own 4-yard line. The Mustangs with a 2-touchdown lead. Final play coming up, you would think, in the opening quarter. Everybody bunched in tight. Juarez is under center. Mustangs have everybody up there. The handoff right side and a decent run across the 5 to about the 7. And that might be, that looks like that ball carrier is Beltran for the gain of 3, and that'll be the end of the opening quarter from All City Stadium. The Mustangs got 2 touchdown passes from Langford to Marquez. They lead 14-0 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Please B106.
14-0 Fort Morgan leads Lincoln. Let's head to the second quarter along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. I'm John Beltran. The Mustangs scored in their first 2 drives and had to punt in their third, but that punt was incredible by Frank Woody as a 52-yarder. 2nd down and 7 to go for Lincoln at their own 7-yard line. There's the give on the left side and cutting it back towards the middle and still driving across the 10 or maybe right at the 10 to the 11. I think that's Beltran again for the gain of 4. Sorry.
You know, and it seems like the Mustangs came out and played really well those first 2 drives. And then since then, Lincoln's been able to get a couple first downs. Here they're having a little success getting out from the hole of the shadow of the goalposts. And we're able to stop Fort Morgan. Well, Fort Morgan stopped itself with the penalty, but hold them and get a punt.
And now it's 3rd down and 3 for the 11. Beltran the setback. Mustangs nearly jumped. There's the get Beltran, but that time the Mustangs are there. And a gain of about 1 to the 12-yard line, running behind his left guard. It'll be 4th down and 2 to go. And here we go with a punting situation. And Herbert, who pulled off a magic trick with the ball bouncing around last time and got off an 18-yard punt. Well, we know the goal now. Enough with the penalties. Langford and Lopez are the returners. High snap, there comes the rush, and that ball is going to sail over Charlie Langford. That's going to take a perfect roll for Lincoln. It was actually touched at the 40. They got to backtrack that football. That was kicked at the 40. They shouldn't place that football at the 38, yeah.
He's got it marked.
Either way, that's a heck of a punt by Herbert.
And why is Fort Morgan just like staying away from those and not trying to get that ball and make some yardage?
It'll be, I believe, at the 42, 41-42. Yeah. Either way, it's a heck of a punt. 48-yard punt. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at their own 41-yard line. Dawson calls in as a receiver to the right. Again, pistol formation. Ortega's in the backfield. Turns, hands it off to Ortega, running to his right to the 50. He's got a 1st down across the 50, and then he's taken down near the sideline for a gain of about 10. It's one of those, Brian, I thought he'd just keep going to the outside. That I've seen this already too many games this year, not only Fort Morgan Brush, but you stop and then the defense catches up.
Yeah, he just got to step on the gas and get outside of him.
On 1st and 10 for the Mustangs at the Lincoln 49, 14-0. Just under 10 minutes to go before halftime. Marquez looking to throw, sets deep up the left side. Lopez is out there, and he dropped the ball at the 20. Right in his hands, a perfect pass again, and Marquez is not getting a lot of help.
Yeah, that's the truth there. Marquez having a good game of getting the ball and hitting the receivers right on the hands, or at least in the area where they should be able to catch it.
Yeah, that hit him right on the hands. He bobbled it a couple times, just dropped it.
Well, all that does when you drop a pass like that, that gives other players a chance to have their opportunity. as he was taken out after that drop. It was a well-run pattern, but you got to haul that in. 2nd down and 10 for the 49-yard line. From the gun this time. Marquez going to hand it off to Ortega. Leaps over a defender across the 45 to the 41 for a gain of 8. Ben Fritzer has not carried the ball in the game. 41 yards on 6 carries, quickly up to the line of scrimmage. On 3rd and 2, there's the snap. Handoff Ortega, 1st down to the 35, still on his feet. And he dives to the 31. Gain of 10 for Ortega. I just hit the heck with it. Just keep running.
Yeah, you can switch out your running backs. You know, the guy gets tired, bring in somebody else. Just quick hitters up the middle. Don't give that defense a chance to rest.
Well, they are a little bit right now. The signals are coming in from the 31-yard line of Lincoln. From the pistol again. Marquez to throw. Sets. Spins. About to be taken down. And he's sacked. He is sacked back near the 40-yard line. And that's going to be a substantial loss. I mean, there's no forward momentum. Sacked at the 43, a loss of 12. First sack by Lincoln. Mustangs didn't block there.
Yeah, he had lots of company back there, and they were wearing blue.
2nd down and 22 to go at the 43-yard line. And you want to get this game to a running clock at some point. Doesn't have to be the first half. Marquez is going to roll out to his right. Got protection. Throws on the run. Complete underneath the call along the sideline. And he's tackled inside the 30 to the 27. A gain of 16 on the first reception of the game from Dawson Call.
And that play gets it back to manageable for 3rd down.
Very manageable. In fact, it's 3rd down and about 6 to go. So 4 down territory for the Mustangs. 2 touchdown passes, 28 and 18 yards, both from Marquez to Langford. But we've had 2 drops as well, 2 huge drops. 3rd and 6. In motion is Langford. Handoff. Ortega up the middle. And looks like he's got a 1st down, but another flag is down. And that's going to be another hold, I believe, on Fort Morgan.
Yeah, it looked like that was 66.
Yeah, Nate Dahl.
Nate Dahl. And I don't know that he held as much as he kind of pancaked him, and then he just stayed on top of him. And I guess if they're going to call that holding, if you don't get off of him.
That's 4 holding penalties against Fort Morgan. That's why they've had to throw the ball so much. It's going to be back at the, 37-yard line. Well, that makes sense, 3rd and 16. And the clock continues to roll with 7:23 to go before halftime. The Mustangs could still be down in 4 down territory because they're fairly deep in Lincoln territory. And a passing situation for Marquez. Play action, throws it out to his left, caught underneath by Aguirre to the 35. And then he's tackled, a beautiful tackle around knee level at the 33. Only a pickup of 4 along the far sideline. That could have gone big. But Aguirre was taken down. And now it's 4th down and 12. At the 33. You know they're going to pass here. And Lincoln knows that. Marquez rolls out to his right. Still rolling, throws on a run. And it's underthrown badly at the 10-yard line.
Yeah, that one's on him. He had 2 receivers that were open, and he threw it right between the 2 of them.
Yep. Yeah, Weidrich was wide open about the 5-yard line, and I don't know who that underneath receiver was, but.
Yeah, I couldn't tell myself. Nonetheless, the Mustangs turned it over on downs. So it's 1st and 10 for Lincoln at their own 33-yard line. 6:26 to go before halftime. And if you're Fort Morgan, you're not feeling great about things.
No, absolutely not.
And you have played very lackluster since that 2nd touchdown. At the 33, this is Juarez. He hands it off on the left side. That's Silva. He breaks a tackle. A flag is down. And so is Silva at the 40.
Going to be holding on this side of the line.
Well, I think that's like the third or fourth holding call that individual official is called, but I guess he's in that position where he makes those calls on the sides.
Yeah.
I hate to say this, but that's why these teams are a combined 1-9. You commit penalties like that, whether they're legit or not. I mean, you can contest that all you want, but they're legit enough for the officials to make the call.
Truth.
And now it's 1st and 20 at their 22-yard line. Make it actually 21. At the 22-yard line, have to get to the 43. 6 minutes to go before the break. Fort Morgan 14, Lincoln nothing. Juarez, low snap, hands it off to Stansel, bounces it to the left side along the sideline to the 30. He is grabbed from behind and steps out of bounds. But that's a decent gain of 13 yards to the 35. All of a sudden, Stansel's got 4 carries in this game for 36 yards.
Yeah, he's kind of running for his life. He runs those up the middle, and then there's nothing there, and he bounces it to the outside, and Fort Morgan doesn't have a contain.
Yep.
Illegal formation against Lincoln. That nullifies the 13-yard gain by Stansel. I mean, to me, Fort Morgan should be up in this game at least 21-0, at least.
Yeah. Anyway.
Again, they've been outscored 193-6 in their 4 losses. I mean, that has to, I'm going to repeat that when I need to. Hopefully not too much. 1st and 26 at their own 17. Time for a Mustang turnover, especially if Lincoln has to throw. Juarez will hand it off on the right side. Stansel bounces to the 19. Kind of danced his way for a gain of 2. For the Mustangs made the hit. Velasquez was around the football.
And you look at the game as it's progressing, and you think, gosh, 2nd and 26, they're going to have to throw. But every time they've thrown, they've gone backwards. So really, their best bet is just to keep running the ball.
And Lincoln takes their final time out of the half with 5:08 to go. See, they don't have any timeouts left. This is an opportunity for Fort Morgan, which has all 3 timeouts left, to score a couple of more touchdowns, be up 28-0 at the half. You've got them pinned back. You just can't make mistakes with the holding penalties. Whether you're a traditional or non-traditional student looking for an associate's degree or a specialized certificate, visit njc.edu and count on Wiggins Electric for quick, efficient, and courteous service to keep you up and running. They provide you with a service and products you need at your most critical time. Wiggins Electric. Yeah, I just expected more life out of Fort Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of like ho-hum, whatever. 4 holding penalties, a touchdown called back. You get off to the quick lead. And
sometimes it's difficult for a 0-5 team to be comfortable being ahead as well.
Well, it has been this year.
It certainly doesn't seem like a natural thing, but they are.
They were up 7-0 against Conifer, lost. 14-0 Pueblo County, lost. 19-12 Frederick, lost. 2nd down and 24 for the 19. Under center is Juarez. Here is the pitch right to Stansel, looking to get to the outside. He gets around Wiedrich, but he doesn't have much as Ortega ushered him out of bounds. And for a gain of about maybe 3, let's see, the original line of scrimmage was the 19. The gain of 4 to the 23, 3rd and 20.
Yeah, the Mustangs are pretty good with that run when they initially was going to go outside. They're out there, but when they try to go up the middle and then bounce it out, they're getting caught inside.
3rd and 20 to go. Will they attempt a pass? Will Fort Morgan have a shot to pick off a pass here from Ezekiel Juarez? Now out of the gun at their own 23-yard line. Running back to the right of the quarterback. Play clock running down. 2-step drop. Now rolls to his left. Throws on the run. That's going to be incomplete. Towards the sideline. And that was a similar throw Marquez made over one receiver and in front of the other, except it was towards the sideline as opposed to the middle of the field.
Yeah, and I think that they probably would rather not have to pass with that freshman quarterback. He's pretty short.
Yeah, he's a sophomore. Yeah, Juarez is a
sophomore.
sophomore, but not far
Yeah,
off.
5'7".
And here's the other thing, Brian. The Mustangs have had nothing in the return game.
No, they haven't been able to. They're just letting the ball bounce. It goes over their head, and they don't try to go and retrieve it at all.
But let's see if they can do something now. I mean, Herbert's done a nice job. The last punt went over Langford's head. There's a snap. There comes the rush. And that's a fluttering punt towards the sideline. It bounces to the 50, and watch out. Mustangs got to make sure that was really close to Cameron Daly. The ball nearly hit him at the 46-yard line.
Yeah, the last punt they didn't get within 20 yards of it, and this one they had 4 guys within 5 yards of it. So maybe some coaching going on the sideline.
Punt of 24 yards. Yeah, I guess you got to know where the ball is going, because they could have had a lot in the return game in this one. 4:39 to go before halftime. Fort Morgan 14, Lincoln nothing. Mustangs look really sharp in the early going. 4 sacks, 2 touchdown passes, but now you've had 2 major drops. You've had to punt. You've missed on a 4th down conversion from the pistol at the 46, and Lincoln jumps. Now it'll be 1st and 5 at the 41. I mean, they're allowing you almost to grab a 3 or 4 touchdown lead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Kevin, it's like you said, you don't feel comfortable being up.
Yeah, they're trying to give it to them, and Fort Morgan won't take it.
Kind of like a game of hot potato.
There you go. I knew a food mention would happen at some point. 1st and 5 for the Lincoln 41. Perfect snap. There's the handoff running right as Fritzler. He's taken down for a loss. Mustangs missed a block or 2 there, and Fritzler's not getting up at the 42-yard line. A loss of 1. He's favoring a knee or a hamstring.
And that'll be a loss on defense for the Mustangs because he plays that outside.
Again, Ben Fritzler a year ago as a freshman, 16 carries for 104 yards. That was his first carry for a -1, 4:23 to go. And based on the way he went down, I don't know if he's going to come back in this game. Hopefully he just got hit in a tricky spot. You know, sometimes you get hit hard, you feel like it's the end of the world, then you bounce up, you're good like 3 minutes later.
Let's see if he favors a leg or not.
He's having
Looking
trouble
like
right
that
now.
left knee, maybe.
That's exactly what got hit. On 2nd down and 11.
And I hate to say it, but, we are playing on artificial turf, and there's a lot more knee injuries on turf because it just doesn't give when you get hit.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming back in the game. He's limping off the field. He's putting some weight on that left leg. That'll give Samson Ortega virtually every carry from here on out, although that's been the case. He's had 7 carries for 51 yards. 2nd down and 11 to go for the Mustangs at the 42-yard line. And they'll take a look at Ben Fritzler to see what's going on, and hopefully that was just a strain and he'll be able to work his way out of that and get back in the game, but it didn't look good. Naked backfield, 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. On 2nd down, Marquez throws out to his left, caught underneath of the 37, spinning as Lopez along the sideline. 1st down to the 25, still on his feet to the 20, and he's still going inside the 10. Angel Lopez with tremendous moves and a 1st and goal for the Mustangs.
Yeah, cut along that east sideline and
down to the 4, gain of 38.
did some nice tricky running along there.
There's some nice help with blocking downfield as well.
The handoff to Ortega, running to his right. He's going to score easily, and it's a touchdown for the Mustangs. 4 yards out, ran to his right, nobody out there. And the Mustangs did an excellent job of blocking, leading now 20-0.
That's what they were needing. They just need to get a little more confidence. You'd think the way they'd been playing earlier on, their confidence wouldn't be lacking. But
I just go knuckles there. That's right. I think that's the way to go. Not the big one. Davila with the extra point, a line drive. That looked like an excellent kick from Miguel Davila, and it is good. 3 minutes, 52 seconds to go before halftime. The Mustangs have extended the lead at All City Stadium in Denver. It's Fort Morgan 21, Lincoln nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
He's walking it on the backside.
John Beltran with Brian Nichol and Kevin Rohde, 21-0 Mustangs. They just scored on a drive that didn't have to travel too far, Brian.
No, 41 yards in 3 plays.
The big one, a 38-yarder to Angel Lopez, and then a 4-yard run. So they went a yard backwards to begin by Samson Ortega, and that is a gorgeous kick into the end zone. Well, with Davila missing the extra point, he's been great since then. Kicked that extra point, had 2 kickoffs go into the end zone.
Yeah, I haven't seen that in the last few weeks. He's been, I don't know if they're afraid of the return man and they're trying to keep it away from him or whatever, but he's getting his foot into it now. Maybe he had a leg injury or something, wasn't able to extend like he needed to.
1st and 10 for Lincoln. Just shy of the top of the hour. This is Morgan County's B106, KPRB, Brush, Fort Morgan. With a football resting at their own 20-yard line, and Fort Morgan up by 3 touchdowns. Ezekiel Juarez, the quarterback, in the gun. Receivers to the left and right. There's the give, and back up to the middle. That's a nice gain for Beltran across the 25 to the 26. But we do have a flag down and a timeout called by Fort Morgan. Well, if they're going to call timeouts, they got to hold the ball carrier to less than 6 yards.
Right.
I didn't think they'd call a timeout this quickly. There's still 3:43 to go before halftime. Because here's the thing. For Lincoln to score, Fort Morgan would have to make a mistake defensively.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have a passing game, as Kevin mentioned, but they can break off a run.
Right.
And they've broken off. They've broken off 2 or 3 decent runs.
And they bounce it outside, and that's where they've been getting their yardage.
It'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff a week from today. Same site against Kennedy, where the Mustangs, you win today, you beat Kennedy, you're 2-0 going into that Holy Family game on the 19th. And that was a instant classic last night with Holy Family beating Lutheran 35-28. 2nd down and 4 for the 26-yard line. There's the handoff to Beltran, running to his right. And he's got a 1st down across the 30. Wouldn't take a timeout if I'm Fort Morgan here. No, Carson Roth in on the hit. They're taking it. Nope, they're just stopping the clock for the movement of the chains. And the gain for Beltran is 6 yards, 5 yards. I'll backtrack it to the 31. And that's already for Beltran. 7 carries in a game for 22 yards. At the 31, they're just going to keep running. Hand off, Beltran again to his right. He's a big back.
Yep.
And he barrels to the 35, maybe the 36, a gain of 5. Fort Morgan is not getting any penetration whatsoever.
But they called another timeout.
And they're going to keep doing it, but it's not going to pay off if they don't get the ball back because they're unable to stop the Lincoln running attack.
Well, if Lincoln can, all they can do is run, and you call timeouts to give them more opportunities to run the ball, you know, they may get down in position to get some points in this half.
2nd down and 5 to go from their own 36-yard line. 3:06 to go before the break. Mustangs have 2 touchdown catches from Charlie Langford and a scoring run by Samson Ortega. And there's nothing fancy, Brian. It's very predictable.
No, they're just a handoff there in the backfield, and he's following his line basically outside somewhat, so gets 4 or 5 yards of carry.
On 2nd and 5, and I don't know why the Mustangs have a defender back at the 50-yard line. That's the oddest thing. There's a snap. Well, going to throw. Backside pressure coming, and a sack back at the 30-yard line. That's a tremendous play by Wyatt Patterson. And now that timeout makes a lot more sense because now it's a 3rd and long. And I'm wondering, why did they abandon the run for even one play?
Well, I think as a coach, you hope that you run enough that the other team, that you can catch them a little bit in a surprise. But I don't think Lincoln's ever going to catch anyone in a surprise
No.
passing.
No, I mean, that's
No.
not their game. It's not their
No.
game, and that's a loss of 5. It's 3rd down and 10 from their 31.
Well, they have no line. He's not getting any protection at all back there.
Right.
Either quarterback. So
Yeah,
this
that's-
quarterback has to roll out because he's not very big. I don't think he can see over his line of scrimmage.
So 3rd and 10 at the 31. Both teams are out of timeout, so the Mustangs have to get into their 2-minute offense if they get the ball back after this particular play. I think Lincoln might think about running this ball because they've had success. It's hard to get 10 yards on a 3rd and 10, but there's a better chance of them doing it on the ground than it is through the air. Juarez on 3rd down, wants to throw deep up the left sideline. The pass is intercepted at the 48-yard line. Langford steps out of bounds near midfield. And that is the 2nd turnover of the game by Lincoln, as Juarez is picked off. Well, Fort Morgan will have it at midfield.
Opportunity to get it to that 28-0 that you talked about.
Yeah, the difference is that last year it was 28-0 after the first quarter, and then it was 28-0 at halftime. Neither team scored in the second quarter.
And they haven't scored that 28th point yet either.
Nope. Exactly, yeah. 1st and 10 for the Mustangs, 50 yards away from the land of no hash marks. Marquez, play action, throws out to his left. Underneath screen caught by Lopez. Make a move to the outside. He does to the 45. Along the sideline to the 40, a 1st down as he steps out of bounds across the 40 to the 38. A gain of 12 from Marquez to Lopez. 2nd reception for 50 yards.
He looked like he bobbled that just a little bit before he took off.
Well, that's the one thing that has plagued them once in a while. That happened to Dawson Call this year. Interception against Pueblo in his hand, tried to run before he had the ball. Catch it first and then take off. You've got plenty of speed at receiver. From the 38-yard line. There's the snap, play action, rolling, throwing off his back foot, and it's incomplete towards Ramirez. There, I think JJ had an opportunity to step up in the pocket. You step up instead of backpedaling or rolling right necessarily. 2nd down and 10 from the 38, and I'm surprised Fort Morgan hasn't run the ball. You don't need to pass. There's plenty of time. Even with no timeouts, you have plenty of time. 2.5 to go, and 38 yards away on 2nd down. Naked backfield. Marquez looking to throw. He steps up, deep up the right side. It's incomplete. That's not that close to Ortega at the 15-yard line.
And it's almost like they threw a switch, and now all of a sudden, I guess on that short pass to Langford a couple plays ago.
To Lopez.
He just hasn't been able to deliver the ball. He's feeling a little pressure, which is...
But it's not like their running game is getting stymied.
Right.
I mean, they're running this offense like there's 45 seconds to go. And now it's 3rd and 10. Naked backfield, trips to the right. High snap, JJ to throw slant, and that is intercepted or incomplete.
Incomplete.
Did it bounce? Yeah, it's incomplete. It did bounce at the 28-yard line.
And I don't know what 4th down and 10.
Well, you're going to go for it. You're going to go for it. They abandoned the run completely.
Yep.
And way too much time. Way too much time to abandon the run. Yeah, it is puzzling. With all that time left. On 4th and 10 from the 38, Marquez looks to throw deep up the left side. Receivers out there and off the hands of Call at the 5-yard line, and Fort Morgan turns it over on downs, and that was a huge disappointment.
Yeah.
That would have been a really hard catch for him. It did hit him in the hands, but it kind of spun his head around and just barely hit his fingertips.
Listen, I don't think it's about. I think it's about the play calling.
Yeah,
I
I
do
agree.
not understand just passing 4 times in a row with that much time left. You've
Right.
got a decent running game. I mean, Samson Ortega's got 8 carries in this game for 55 yards and scored on his last carry when there was nobody out there to the right of the formation. And now they're back on defense at the 38, up 21-0. Ezekiel Juarez will hand it off to Stansel, and he breaks out of a tackle along the right sideline to the 50, cuts it back to the 40-yard line. He's got daylight. He spins to the 35, and he's down at the 33-yard line. A gain of 29, and they've got to get up to the line of scrimmage, although they have plenty of time for King Stansel. Well, now we know why Coach Davies said he just wants a win, because it's not a quality lead right now with too many mistakes. They could have done a lot more at this point.
But when they look at that film, I guarantee they're not going to be happy with this win.
Well,
If they hold on to win, which
they'll
yeah,
hold
certainly
on to
should.
win. They just have to play better. A minute 35 to go, and they're in the huddle because they feel they have time, but they really don't. Now without a decent passing game and no timeouts, on 1st and 10 for the Mustang, 33-yard line. Juarez awaits the snap, and there it is. 2-step drop, heaves it deep up the left side. Langford's going to pick it off again, and he does at the 9 as he goes to the ground. Charlie Langford just playing center field. An interception. Although the Mustangs had great coverage. I think Daly was right on top of the receiver.
Yeah.
There was no way that was going to be complete, and the safety and Langford picked it off. Okay, you're at the 9 with a minute 12 to go. Sure, you could throw. And if you're going to throw it, a little receiver screen to either Lopez or Call or even Langford, because it worked already. Instead of necessarily going downfield from the 9-yard line, and it looked like
Offside again.
Lincoln jumped. This has been a long first half now. The Mustangs have thrown 16 passes in the first half. It's at the 14, a first down, and 5 to go. From the pistol, Marquez looks to throw to his left, caught underneath at the 20 by Lopez, a first down along the left side, got to get out of bounds, and he stays in bounds, and now he's down at about the 32, maybe 33-yard line. They'll spot the football. I'm not sure he got out of bounds, but we'll see. Clock is stopped with a minute 3 to go. That's for the movement of the chains. It's a gain of 18. And a first down back up to the line of scrimmage. The clock did stop. At the 32, JJ to throw. Deep up the middle. Langford is out there. He's got it at the 35. Langford to the 15 to the 10, and he is gone. That has just gone 68 yards in a connection from Marquez to Langford. Third touchdown pass of the game from Marquez to Langford, and the Mustangs lead 27-0.
That's what I wish they'd been doing all along. Langford's got the height on this kid out here, but he just got the speed, and he got behind the defense, and JJ laid it right in there for him.
Well, Langford has 3 receptions on offense and 2 on defense. And now the extra point by Miguel Davila is up and good. 55.6 seconds to go before halftime. The score, Fort Morgan 28, Lincoln nothing on Morgan County's B106. We're on the TuneIn app, all part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
106.
Well, now the Mustangs have woken up and lead 28-0. A 91-yard drive. There's a little pooch near the sideline by Davila. Bounces and picked up at the 13-yard line. And across the 20 to the 25 along the far sideline. Again, dark jerseys, tough to see. That's not Stansel. In fact, the return man is Jesse Genny for Lincoln. They've got it with 49.6 seconds to go. And Brian, that drive took just 2 plays after the 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, that started from their own 17-yard line, so nice job by the Mustangs. That was a beautiful pass out to Langford. It was something we'd been looking for and thinking it's there, and they finally got it. So.
Well, he's had the passes before, but he's had a couple of drops.
Yep.
1st and 10 from the 25-yard line for Lincoln. Under center is Juarez. There is the pitch left. This is King Stansel bouncing it to the outside, and he breaks a tackle from Cameron Daly, reverses his field, now to the 30-yard line. Stansel spins short of a first down, or maybe he's got the first down at the 35. I mean, that's certainly a negative for Fort Morgan in the first half. Stansel's got 72 yards on 7 carries. And it's 1st and 10 at the 35. Other than that, the offense has done very little. Eliseo Beltran, he's had some decent runs, but nothing as sizable as Stansel. From the 35, down to 15 seconds to go. This could be the final play. They are looking to throw. Nope, that'll be a quarterback keeper to his left. He's taken down for a loss.
He's staying down.
3, and he's taken hard to the turf. And that'll be the final play. And Juarez is hurt out there. And hopefully he's okay. A loss of about 3 to the 32-yard line. He might have jammed a shoulder in there or had the wind knocked out of him. I don't see anything in the upper body or lower body that signaled the injury was in that area. Let's take a break. We're at halftime with the score. Fort Morgan 28, Lincoln nothing from All City Stadium on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We had to cut that off just a couple of minutes early because they're starting a little bit earlier in the second half than we had anticipated. I'm John Beltran from All City Stadium with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. The Mustangs with a 28-0 lead. They will receive the third quarter kickoff. And to kick it off will be Preston Herbert. That's one positive, I would think, for Lincoln. He did a nice job punting in the first half.
Yeah. Yeah, and even when he was under pressure but being taken down, he got one off.
Back deep to receive. Let's see, you got Langford as one of the return men.
Dawson Call.
And that is Dawson Call towards the right sideline. A line drive that's headed for the end zone. It takes a bounce at the 5. And Fort Morgan will have it at their own 20-yard line. Oh, no wonder they're starting the second half a little bit early. It's 3:30 on a game that kicked off at 2 o'clock.
I don't know if they have another game here this afternoon or not. So.
No, they do not have another game. Not that I know of. I checked the schedule. It was just the 2 games.
Yeah, and a week from now, we will be right back here. I noticed online that the game was scheduled for All City Stadium.
Yep, 2 o'clock against Kennedy. I just like to see Fort Morgan break off a big run. They haven't really broken off a huge run. And if you're going to establish yourself as more of a power, you just can't have big passes. A run would be nice. 1st and 10. There's the give to Ortega, swinging it to the outside, breaks a tackle. That's actually Noah Aguirre into the game, who looked a little bit like Ortega the way he ran across the 35 to the 36. It's a gain of 16. The tackle was made by Naki Butler, a freshman. How about that?
Yeah, it looked good. I don't know what to... I guess he was lined up, I think it was like a T formation in the backfield, so... A nice blocking downfield that time and no holding call.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line for the Mustangs. Again, pistol formation. J.J. Marquez awaits a snap. There it is. Hands off to Ortega, running to his left, back to the middle across the 40. And is taken down at the 43-yard line. A gain of 7. The Lincoln player getting up very slowly. Got to make sure he gets to the sideline. He does. At the 43, there's the give. This time that's Ortega again. First down near midfield. That's 2 carries in a row that went for 7 yards, and Ortega is up to 65 yards on 10 carries. Ben Fritzler was hurt in the second quarter and has not returned from the pistol. Marquez rolls out to his left, wide open as Ramirez underneath. He finds him at the 45, and he's got a first down. He pancakes a defender across the 40 to the 36-yard line. That's what happens when you try to tackle a little bit too high, and it's a gain of 14 and a first down, and J.J. Marquez has thrown for 223 yards so far in the game.
Especially when there's a 100-pound differential from the tackler to the running back.
At the 36, Marquez again to throw. Two-step drop. He heaves it deep up the right side. Lopez is out there incomplete, and he stopped at the 10-yard line. You cannot stop running your pattern. Langford did that earlier. That was a perfect throw, and it appears it's overthrown. But if you stop as a receiver, you don't give your quarterback a shot. That should have been 6, Brian.
Yeah. He had the step on him, and he just. Well, I don't know if he gives up. They slow down. I don't know what the injured.
Oh, that looks like, almost like a cramp.
Yeah.
A stomach cramp out at the 15-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 10, but that's frustrating if you're Marquez. Just run through the pattern. Run the entire pattern and don't stop, and that's happened twice. And you hate to dwell on any negatives, but let's face it, they knew they were going to win this game when they got here, but they wanted to play well and win this game, which they have not done for the first 2.5 quarters. They've been good in spurts, and they've had a couple of huge plays. Well, be prepared for everything life throws at you at Gordon Insurance. Get car insurance, life insurance, farm insurance, and crop insurance at Gordon Insurance, GordonINS.com. And, of course, you can borrow locally from people you know at Equitable Savings and Loan. They've been providing personal bankers to help you through all the steps. Stop by one of 10 locations across the plains or visit equitable-savings.com. All right, so the player for Lincoln is off the field. He was clutching his stomach, left side of his rib cage. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Looks like Eric Garcia, 5'7", 125. Man, that is just not much.
And Ezekiel Juarez, the quarterback that was hurt towards the end of the first half, is not back out on the sideline as well. He hasn't come out of the medical complex.
On 2nd down and 10 for the 36-yard line. Resetting is Jackson Wiedrich. There's the snap, the handoff. Stutter stepping is Samson Ortega along the left sideline to the 30, cuts it back to the 25. A first down for the Mustangs, a gain of about 11 as he's taken down right there. They might give him an additional yard to the 24 as the Mustangs are just a few yards away from the red zone. Give him 12 yards. And Samson Ortega is up to 77 yards on 11 carries. And he's got a touchdown from 4 yards out. Marquez with 3 touchdown passes, maybe a 4th. A fade up the left sideline. It is caught for a touchdown, Isaiah Ortiz. Oh, a beautiful move by Ortiz. 24 yards out, the 4th touchdown pass of the game. Let's go Hype. There we go. And the Mustangs now lead 34-0. The knuckles was only because of a 4-yard touchdown.
Okay.
You know, it wasn't as exciting, but I mean, so I'm sorry. Even though I don't make the rules on this, gentlemen. I don't make the rules. I might have sounded like I did. Now the extra point by Miguel Davila. That's the best kick he's had in this entire game besides 2 outstanding kickoffs, and it is good. We have 9:49 to go in the 3rd quarter. The Mustangs from All City Stadium putting on a nice performance to begin this quarter. It's Fort Morgan 35, Lincoln nothing on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. The Mustangs will kick off up 35-0 and a 24-yard touchdown pass from Marquez to Ortiz. There's a pooch along the sideline. That ball is loose and down to the 30-yard line. Oh, man. Austin Hall went flying before it was fallen upon by Orlando Reyes of Lincoln. It wasn't an onside kick. Thank goodness it wasn't onside, but it was really a pooch in an open area.
I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to get it in that open area and hope our guy will get there before their guy does. And Austin Hall was almost there.
At the 30-yard line, the Mustangs are 1 touchdown away from getting this to a running clock for the remainder of the game. The quarterback is Ash Myers. There's the snap to give off to Stancil. Right up the middle. He's held up after a gain of a yard to the 31. Velasquez, Carson Roth, and Noah Aguirre. Also in the play was Miguel Davila, 2nd down and 9. That's what you need. I mean, some of that gang tackling, especially with Stancil, 72 yards in the first half.
Yeah. When the Mustangs get in trouble is when they run it up the middle and then they bounce it outside. That's where they've been getting their yardage.
On 2nd down and 9 for the 31. A little bit of a high snap. Stancil has it, bounces it out to the left side. The Mustangs are there, though, and Aguirre spins him down to the ground for a loss of 1. Now they're getting a little bit more physical.
Yeah.
Are you seeing a different attitude out there, Kevin?
Yeah, I think there's a little bit of heated discussion maybe at half, and they're playing with a purpose.
Yeah, because we didn't feel that fire during certain aspects of the opening half. Now it's 3rd down and 10 to go from the 30, 8.5 to go. 3rd quarter, Mustangs up by 35. Awaiting the snap is Myers. He's got it. Flag is down. Timeout called by Lincoln. If not, that would have been an incomplete pass. But then again, the play was stopped for the most part. With 9 locations across Northeast Colorado, there's always a location close by at Rudy's Tires. Check them out at rudystires.com for more. I'm not sure which is the best play in this game, because I know that 68-yard pass, but I'm going back to a special teams play. That 52-yard punt by Franco Diaz down to the 4-yard line was a thing of beauty. You need the distance, and you have to angle it, and it took a perfect bounce. The only thing that would have been better is if it had gone out at the 1-yard line. That is so difficult to do, especially when you're kicking half a football field at the high school level.
Yeah. And you don't see him do that anymore. You don't used to, they call it the coffin corner.
Yeah.
You just don't see that done anymore.
Nope. On 3rd down and 10 from the 30. Myers to throw, pressure coming. Screen over the middle is caught at the 34, but well short of a 1st down. It was caught by Jesse Genny, the first completion. I thought it actually hit the turf, but they're going to say it's complete. 4th down and 6. First completion of the game on only the 5th attempt by a Lincoln quarterback. And Herbert will punt. And the 4 losses, as I referenced, outscored 193-6. Now that's up to 228-6. Down 35-0. Mustangs have not had a single return in this game. And that's a high snap. Here comes the pressure. Line drive, gets it off. It bounces. We'll have a return here, picked up by Langford at the 34. To the outside. He reverses his field after getting shirt-tailed at the 50. Langford with 1 to beat at the 30. Now down the sideline to the 20, and Charlie is gone. He's just gone about 69 yards for a touchdown. We'll call it 61. And the Mustangs now lead by a score of 41-0. 4th touchdown of the game for Charlie Langford. We don't have the official yardage. I believe it was a little bit over 60 yards on that return, and he was nearly shirt-tailed at about the 40-yard line.
Yeah, I didn't know if he was going to get pulled out of that or not, but he was strong enough. And he got away from it and took it the rest of the way.
Yeah.
A lot of chatter down there. Now the extra point. And the kick is up. Line drive. I think he hooked it.
Yeah. Oh.
Nope, he hooked it inside the right upright. A running clock. It is good. We have 6 minutes, although I don't see it on the board. I thought they signaled that good.
They did.
6:15 to go. Let's see.
They probably
There you go. 42 to, yeah, they did signal it. on the board. We'll keep it right here for now with the Mustangs up 42-0. And this game will be over in, still got about 20 some odd minutes of football because of a running clock.
But it's not football time.
It's
It's actual time with the running clock.
It's actual time. But the only stoppages will be between the third and fourth quarter, an injury, or a timeout.
Right.
And that's it.
I'm just thinking it's not like that time when my loving wife says,
Right.
dinner's going to be ready. How much time's left in the football game? Oh, about 5 minutes. Is that 5 minutes or 5 football minutes? And
Tremendous point. Another nice kickoff by Davila, and this one in the air bounces at the goal line and goes into the end zone. Well, one of the goals that Coach Davies had for this game was to clear the bench. Clear the bench. He's going to be able to clear the bench here. You take your starters out now,
Yep.
clear the bench, and Lincoln has
Timeout.
called their second timeout.
Morgan.
Did they?
maybe they want to organize and get, they make sure they got everybody in position as they put their JV team in. Looks like Fritzler sitting over there on the far bench, far left,
Yep.
with ice on his knee. That's unfortunate. Hopefully it's nothing serious for him.
We've got 4:44 to go. Clock is stopped only because of the timeout taken by the Mustangs. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining. But this game will be over just after 4 o'clock because of the running clock that is in effect with very few exceptions. First down from the 20-yard line. Now the goal is to get a shutout.
Yeah.
But you're going to have to do it with like your second teamers. There's the snap, handoff to Stancil running to his left. He's taken down. I tell you what, they are fired up here. I mean, beautiful tackle by Ashton Meeks along with Jaden Gilbert, the junior. And Stancil's thrown for a loss back to the 17.
Yeah, they're excited. They get to play. They get to be out there and play on the big stage right now. So they're fired up and ready to go.
Well, as a result, the first play is a negative play for Lincoln. On second down and 13 for the 17. Well, wait till they get on offense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see some of the future Fort Morgan Mustangs getting out there and getting an opportunity to shine.
Adam Montez in there. Broden Jess. Second down and 13 for the 17. And now we've got delay of game.
Oh, boy. Cooper Chisholm is in here at safety.
Yeah, but why are they stopping the clock?
A delay of game.
No, penalty should not stop the clock, and now they restarted. They made a mistake, and now they're restarting the clock, and now it's second down and 18 to go from the 12. That's just habit.
Yeah.
But Lincoln, all their losses have gone. The route is a gain of 8, running to the left side. That's Eliseo Beltran. The tackle was made once again by Ashton Meeks. Third down and 10 to go. Now the Mustangs are really rotating players in and out of the lineup. On third and 10, there's the give. Beltran, big hole up the middle, across the 25. He's got a first down and across the 40 to the 45, a gain of 25 yards before he was taken down by the freshman Coleman, also around the football. Well, we don't have that number. I think Brian might have a more expanded roster. Number 35 in there.
Nope. That one I
At
do not
the
have.
44-yard line, Lincoln looking to score. There's a handoff. Beltran, he pancakes a defender and then is down at the 50 for a gain of 6. Adam Montez in on the hit. Yeah, they want to get into the end zone. They got into the end zone their last game when they lost to Summit. Scored 6 points. Clock now reached 2 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the third quarter. And now do we have an official's timeout? What's the point of the running clock if we're taking officials' timeouts? Officials don't need a time. Well,
I don't know what they're doing.
There's no need for an official's timeout and then for the Mustangs to run off the field either. Unless it's a team timeout, that's different. An official's timeout, the team should be on the field. But
Not sure what's going
I'm
on
not
there.
sure what's, yeah, exactly. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure they do.
second down and 4 from midfield. The Mustangs lead 42-0, and now they've disabled the clock. Now it's going back on. Under center is Juarez. He drops the ball. It's loose. It's still loose. And the Mustangs, I believe, have it at the 49-yard line.
Yep.
And it is recovered at the 49 by Brody Smith, a junior linebacker. So Fort Morgan will take a shutout into the fourth quarter because by the time they get the snap off, there'll be less than a minute to go. And the quarterback is the freshman, Frank Urias. Well, is he going to be the quarterback? He's in that backfield. I could be wrong about that. Let's see.
Looks like number 10.
Yeah. Although he's got to wear his. Does he have some? Yeah, there's. I don't have a 10 on here unless it's
Jordan Perez.
Oh, Jordan Perez back to throw out to his right, and it's caught underneath and then fumbled. And I think Lincoln recovered the ball. They did at the 44. That was Montez. He did not do a good job of ball security at all. Yeah, you got to secure that football.
Yeah, that was a nice little quick pass to get him used to throwing a ball in a varsity game, but unfortunately the receiver didn't secure it completely.
We'll have one more play before the end of the quarter. This is when it's tough to watch these games because then you see all types of mistakes on both sides. First and 10 at the 44. And, of course, without a deep roster, they've got their starters in there. This is Ash Myers. I might have said Juarez earlier, but it's Ash Myers. And now Lincoln calls a timeout. No?
Yep.
Well, let's just get to the end of the quarter with the score. Fort Morgan 42, Lincoln nothing on the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
The moment the entire year.
Let's begin the fourth quarter. A gain of 7 to Eliseo Beltran. They're going to use that power back to get on the board. They're going to try. And Beltran is already racking up yardage. He's got 72 yards on 12 carries. 42-0 Fort Morgan, 2nd and 4. The give to Stansel right up the middle. He carries defenders for a couple to the 47 before he's driven back. 3rd down and 2. And I'm sorry, we don't have all these numbers there. I see a 35. I don't have that on the roster. And Brian couldn't find the 35 on his either. If they're not listed, that makes it difficult. 3rd down and 2 to go. Make it 1, actually. Check it. 3rd and 1 to go. At the 47, they give to Stansel 1st down. To the 45, a gain of 2 before he's driven back into the ground. It's going to be tough to keep them out of the end zone. The Mustangs are rotating so many players. And when you do that, the challenge of holding off the opposing team becomes that much bigger. Fort, go ahead.
You were looking for number 30?
35.
35.
35, yeah. They don't have them listed. Max Preps even.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's what I
They
have.
need to get it updated, is what I say.
Without a doubt. 4 touchdowns in the game from Charlie Langford, 3 receiving and a 60-plus yard punt return. A touchdown for Samson Ortega and a 23-yard touchdown catch by Isaiah Ortiz. 1st and 10 for the Mustang 45. Under center is Myers, and he gives it off on the right side, and a short gain for Beltran. Nice penetration by 3 Fort Morgan Mustangs, including Brody Smith, who recovered the fumble moments ago. 2nd down and 7 to go. Beltran is up to 75 yards on 13 carries. Well, and he's bigger than any Mustang defender. They can just give it to him.
Yeah.
And Fort Morgan has to gang tackle him with 9:23 to go. There's Beltran again, left side. And he's down after a short game, but again, it's a gain of 3. And that's the thing. He's just a battering ram out there against some of the second teamers. Jonah Sherman was around the football. 3rd down and 4 at the 39-yard line. And as crazy as it seems, this could be their final possession.
Mm-hmm.
With a running clock and 8:49 to go in the game as Lincoln calls time.
How many of them do they get in a game?
Sorry, I don't mean to squeeze you both.
They want to make sure they have the right play in, because this is going to be their last offensive drive, and
Right.
they don't want to end up with a shutout.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
You
they have
know-
a bunch of kids out there that they're having a hard time getting them organized.
I really rely on Kevin to give us levity in these situations, without a doubt. Just a little, because, and the timeouts seem like they take 2 to 2.5 minutes as well. They take a little while.
Yeah, you think we had TV going here or something there.
Right.
One-stop shopping does exist. Kevin was close there last night at Stubbs Gas and Oil. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories of I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. To visit them at Stubbs Gas and Oil. It has the length of a TV timeout.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Yep.
Jeremiah Mills in for the Mustangs.
That's the fun part for us, is watching these new players, as Kevin was talking about. 3rd down and 4 for Lincoln at the Mustang 39. Fort Morgan leads 42-0. 8:48 to go in the game. 2 receivers out to the left. High snap, handoff to Stansel. He can't get out of the backfield. Thrown for a loss at the 42, a loss of 3. And were the Mustangs ever there to make the play? And now Stansel is not getting up. Oh, man, I hope he just had the wind knocked out of him. I hope he just had the wind knocked out of him, because I think that's
Right.
what it was.
But they have this really nice drive. Okay, maybe really nice is too strong of words. But they had this drive where, they're making a 1st down on 3 runs. They're still on schedule to do that. And then they change into a different formation and get tackled for almost for a loss. And now it's 4th and 7.
Yep, and the
where
Mustangs
it might have been only 4th and 1. And you're going to get one, in a cloud of dust with that big kid. You had a chance to just march it in, but I don't know. Hopefully, like you say, hopefully this isn't anything serious. I'm afraid that number 15, they got hurt in the first quarter or first half. I think that's probably going to be a little more serious.
Right, that's Ezekiel Juarez, their other quarterback, so they're down to the one quarterback. I have to believe that Stansel just got the wind knocked out of him, because when you're gang tackled into the turf, middle of the field as he was, he's going to get up under his own power and walk off the field. There's nothing that he seems to be favoring. As Kevin mentioned, a 4th down and 7.
Maybe you got
It could be a concussion, yeah.
It's a little woozy.
Yes. Yeah, he might have taken one right around. Well,
Yeah,
you got to
maybe
hit him
in the
back.
back.
Lower back.
He might have got
Take a
popped
shot.
in the back pretty good.
Yeah, he's been their top running back all season and had a great first half with 72 yards. But in this half, Stansel has 6 carries for -4 yards. 4th and 7 for the 42. They'll go for it. Back to throw. Myers over the middle. The pass is caught. That's a first down to the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. That might be Herbert, and a gain of about, what was the original line of scrimmage?
42.
Gain of 14. And a first down. So Lincoln still has ideas of getting into the end zone.
Yep.
And guess who's in that backfield? Eliseo Beltran. And he's been hard to stop. Well, he was in the backfield. Now he's lining up in a slot to the right. There's the give to Silva. Silva spins, still going. Across the 25 to the 23 for a gain of 5 before the hit was made. Only his third carry for 6 yards.
Yeah, these young Mustangs just are getting overpowered by the varsity linemen from Lincoln.
Sincere Coleman into the game for the
Yep.
Mustangs.
And Chase Prouty is in there as well. He's been in there. Second down and 5 from the 23-yard line. There's the snap, the give, and back to the middle, and a loss of penetration by Fort Morgan. And that's Silva getting taken down, and he's on the ground, and he's not getting up. Oh, man. Tremendous play there by Carter Wiedrick, a sophomore, and there was another Mustang in, and he's getting up slowly, and now he can't even limp off the field after a loss of 3. Well, that's not the turf there. I don't think it is, but, man.
No, I think he was tackled low, and he might have got spun around and got something twisted because they were grabbing him at the feet and then hit him kind of high.
It is 4:01 Mountain Time. This is Morgan County's B106 KPRB Brush Fort Morgan, along with Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde. I'm John Beltran. The Mustangs are just over 6.5 minutes away from picking up their first victory. They lead 42-0, and he'll come off the field under his own power. And it'll read third down and 8 to go at the 26. Myers looking to his left. A pass underneath is caught and spinning across the 25. That's close to a first down. And that was Stansel back in the game, a pickup of 5. That's a tough player.
Mm-hmm.
And his first reception. Fourth down and about 3 to go. A long 2. Well, this is their shot at the 21. This is their opportunity. And they're not going to have Beltran in the backfield, although I think he's your best option at the 21. Fourth down, handoff right side, and that's close. I think he's short.
Yeah, he tripped and fell down.
That was Beltran. Now Silva was in the slot, and the Mustangs stop him after a 2-yard gain.
So
Not sure who made that tackle, but it was an excellent play. Sorry, Kevin.
That's right. Barring another turnover by the JV squad, Fort Morgan should be able to run out the clock at this point.
Well, I think they're just going to stick it on the ground. They just had a pass that was caught, and then a turnover on that play. First and 10 from the 19. And what do we have now? Another timeout called by Lincoln.
Yep.
I think, is that 10 or 18 of the quarterback?
Looks like 18 to me.
Well, that'd be Aiden Brown.
Or 19 maybe.
Brown was warming up before the game.
Okay, it's Aiden Brown.
Yep. 18.
Aiden Brown was the quarterback who completed that pass then to Montez, who fumbled the ball. So Lincoln has used all 6 timeouts. Kevin, you must be happy about that.
Well, I thought you'd appreciate the loudspeaker or the announcer saying that Lincoln had used their final timeout.
I think I did, Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah, I that word final is going to come up even sweeter, and hopefully 5 minutes and 9 seconds and not 5 minutes and 10 seconds.
Right.
We'll find out. First and 10 at the 19-yard line for the Mustangs. They've got the one setback now. It's a naked backfield. Oh, boy. Let's see. Aiden Brown, let's see how he looks. He's going to roll out to his other way. Passes underneath. It's caught, but a loss of 1 down to the 18-yard line. And that pass was caught underneath by Frank Urias.
And he also almost lost the ball as he went down.
Yep. Came loose, but he was already down, so.
Well, Aiden Brown is 2 for 2 for 5 yards. Second down and 11 to go for the 18. And if they don't get a first down, you know what's going to happen. Lincoln's going to get the ball back. With one setback, they need to break off a big play. There's the give on the right side. And across the 20 is Austin Hall. Check that, Franco Diaz, who just caught the pass. To the 22, a gain of 4, maybe. Third down and 7 yards to go. So Diaz. Ball carrier on that play. We're down to just under 4 minutes to go in the game. It was 28-0 at halftime. Now 42-0 from the pistol. 3rd and 7. There's the pass behind the line of scrimmage. It's caught, and this will result in another loss back to the 20. Cade Underwood, it looked like, made the catch. And now there's some pushing and shoving. And they got to stop this here between the Mustangs and now there's, oh no, football, not a flag down.
There's a flag too.
I thought I just saw a football spotted. And now the clock stops with 3:28 to go. This is not the definition of a running clock.
No, it just glitches. It jumps 2 seconds every once in a while.
Nope, now it is. You're right. Okay. You're right. It's.
I mean, really nice facilities up here.
Oh,
so
it's
I'm kind of
gorgeous.
surprised that the clock would be glitchy like that. We appreciate the facilities that they have up here in the press box.
Oh, it's the best. But as much as they.
Although Brian and I one time at Aurora Public Stadium, they actually brought us up hot dogs at halftime. So
Oh, here we go. The personal foul is going to go against both teams. It'll be nullified. It'll be 4th down.
if you could take a little longer explaining that,
Yeah,
the
I
game
know.
would be over.
It's true. The Mustangs and Lincoln Lancers completed that play literally a minute and 25 seconds ago. Not to go. Now it's 2:19 to go in the game. They're looking to set up a return. Perfect snap. Diaz gets it off. Not much turnover on that ball at the 42-yard line. Continues to bounce. And it's down at the 46. And now we have another flag down. And Fort Morgan has just got to go away from these guys, because when you're in the lead, Wyatt Patterson, and I'm not saying it was his fault, but Patterson and maybe
Well, number 20 got for Morgan got his
Anthony
helmet
Malvo.
torn off,
Yeah.
and the other guy came in to defend him.
Right. That was Patterson, and I'm not saying he did anything wrong, but you just Lincoln is the team right now, down by 42. You just got to get away from that.
Right.
And in fact, I wonder if this clock is going to run out before they get the next playoff, because they're discussing things. There might be a personal foul on both sides again on Fort Morgan. Yep, it's against the Mustangs.
Wow.
I don't know how you do that when you get your helmet ripped off.
Well,
but-
because they didn't see it.
Right. It's
That's
always
why
the second guy.
I didn't see it, and Nick
as this
Kevin
thing
didn't see
goes.
it, but Brian, you've got an eagle eye, my friend.
I mean, he got his helmet ripped off. If the refs didn't see that,
Right.
the Fort Morgan guy got his helmet ripped off.
We always see the second one called. Now, they're going to get one more playoff, and that's it.
I'm not sure. I think Coach Langford's going to talk to the head official for at least 40 more seconds.
Yeah, well, they don't want this to happen again, I'm sure, even though the game is almost over.
At this point, you could ensure that they don't score by just jumping off sides.
Yeah,
True.
which they probably will not do, but now the clock is down to 23 seconds to go. They are going to run a play. They'll have one play to run. This is their final shot to score from the 32. Myers rolls to his right. There is the pitch. Right side to the 30, and then tackled at the 23. It's a gain of 10. Well, I'm impressed by that play. That's Ashton Meeks again. Nope, that wasn't Meeks, excuse me. That was 35. We don't have his number. A gain of 10 for Beltran, and that essentially ends the game. Thank goodness. The final score, the Mustangs 42, the Lincoln Lancers nothing. Welcome to the Mustang postgame show brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. Get a full plan of seafood and water for your field. Now is the time to begin your planning for next year's growing season. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. Mustangs got 2 touchdown passes in the first quarter, 28 and 18 yards from J.J. Marquez to Charlie Langford, and then a 4-yard run in the second quarter from Samson Ortega. The big play that we'll have on YouTube, a 68-yarder to Charlie Langford, who later on had a 60-plus yard punt return, and in between that, a 23-yard fade pattern up the left sideline to Isaiah Ortiz. So Marquez finishes with 4 touchdown passes, and in the game, throws for 247 yards. Langford, obviously, the leading receiver, although Lopez had 3 catches for 68 yards. The Mustang ground game really didn't do anything in the second half. They didn't commit at all to the ground game in the second half, so they did have over 300 yards of total offense. And as for this Lincoln team, they had 100 yards of offense at halftime, and they were limited as you had 2 interceptions in the second half, both by Charlie Langford. So Charlie certainly had a heck of a game with 2 interceptions, 3 receiving touchdowns, and then a punt return for a score. And Brian, your impressions of this 42-0 victory, which looks nice on the scoreboard, but it's not an A-plus performance.
No, not at all. They, 42-0 looks good, but getting there was a struggle for them, and a lot of penalties, turnovers, just not a clean game at all. There was times when it looked nice when they shined, but there was a lot of times when it didn't look good. So it's things they've got to get cleaned up. Kennedy's going to be a little bit better team than they're going to see next week, and if they continue that kind of stuff like they did today, they may come up on the losing end next week. So there's a lot of things to clean up this week.
And Kevin, the one thing that did improve in the second half, I don't think we saw any holding penalties by the Mustangs because there were way too many in the first half.
That, and we just saw a clear pickup in intensity. They actually went out there like they wanted to win and that they wanted to dominate. You know, that killer instinct you talked about first half, that was lacking. They seemed to pick that up, and you know, even when the JVs were out there, you know, and they were getting 3-4 yards, those kids were trying their hardest and working hard. So I really appreciate that about the coaching staff, that they were able to get that going for the team. You know, it's just a really hard spot to be in. You know, 1-5. You know, you got Lincoln or Kennedy that you talked about next week, which is probably one of our last chances of winning, you know, realistically.
Right. I mean,
you got Holy Family and Lutheran at the end that, you know, are way up there in the top 5, top 3. You know, it's just a tough spot to be in, and to try and keep your kids motivated and learning and growing. And I think the coaches are working hard at that, and you can see that from first half to second half, that growth.
but if they play well next week, and you're right, the last 3 games are going to be difficult to win or even be competitive. If you remember, on a Thursday night last year, after they beat Lincoln and then beat Kennedy, Fort Morgan, although they lost that game 35-13, played a really solid game at Holy Family.
Yeah.
They played a solid game. They just couldn't sustain it because you've got so many young players, and Holy Family had all that experience, and Holy Family might be better this year. We'll see about that after they beat Lutheran last night, 35-28. But either way, Brian and Kevin will be back here next Saturday at 2 o'clock when Fort Morgan does take on Kennedy. All right, well, that does it on this Saturday afternoon from All City Stadium. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. God bless to all as the Mustangs finally pick up a victory, but it's in their first league game of 2023. For Brian Nickel and Kevin Rohde, I'm John Beltran. The final score, Fort Morgan 42, Lincoln nothing on Morgan County's B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.